What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lazy Player's Guide to 99 Smithing. In this guide, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of different AFK lazy ways to get to 99 Smithing. One of them being the absolute laziest way you could probably do anything in this game. So, as usual, I'm still looking for the best loot screenshots and loot tabs. You can send them to the email address on the screen right here. I've actually been getting an influx of low KC drops like 1 through 10. So if you have some of those, send those my way too, because they are pretty impressive. If you're looking for a clan to PVM with, my Discord and clan chat information is always down below in the description. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the Lazy Player's Guide to 99 Smithing. If you're like me and you just happen to love those skills that you can be extremely lazy with, well, here is another one for us. The smithing guide can be done in an extremely AFK method, providing you're okay with losing somewhat of a small amount of money or breaking even. At certain times, you can also profit from following this guide, but it really depends on the demand and the prices at the time you're watching this video. In addition to this, there's also a relatively short and easy quest we can do to cut down on a chunk of those early smithing levels, which I will cover in a bit. Right now, though, I'd like to go over the quests that will reward you with smithing experience upon their completion. There are 12 of them. Now, I'm not going to read all of them off because there's quite a few of them and it'll be a little bit of a waste of time. So if you want to check them out, just pause the video here, take a look. But as for the total quest XP, 94,982 smithing experience rewarded from quests. Now, a lot of that is not going to matter for us except for one, which I'll cover once again in just a minute. Now, just like everything in RuneScape, actions revolve around game ticks. In old school RuneScape, there's a game tick every 0.6 seconds, giving us 100 ticks per minute or 6,000 ticks per hour. Since our main focus throughout this guide is going to be smithing bars on an anvil, I figured everyone should know approximately how many bars or actions can be made per hour. This will depend on the item smith because some items require 2, 3, or even 5 bars, but for the purpose of this guide and what exactly we will be smithing, we're going to assume that we'll be smithing between 900 and 1,000 bars per hour. Technically, we could smith 1,200 single bars per hour if we didn't need to bank, so I'm adding in the human factor as well as banking times for my calculated experience rates. Don't worry though, I will be covering Cannonball Smithing as well because it is extremely AFK, but I will get to that later in the guide. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this guide with that quest that I mentioned earlier. Doing the Knight's Sword quest will reward you with 12,725 smithing experience, which will immediately put you at level 29 smithing, saving you a decent amount of time over smithing bronze and iron items to this point. Now, you will need level 10 mining to complete this quest, but if you watch my Lazy Player's Guide to 99 Mining, you'll know that you can do DORIC'S quest, which is about a 5-minute quest, and this quest will grant you 1,300 mining experience when completed, which puts you at level 10 mining. And if you didn't know that, well, now you do. And as always, if you need guides to these quests, you can find them in the description below. There will be links to both written and video guides. There are other quests that will get you up to level 37 smithing, but these have additional requirements, and if you don't already have them done, I don't think it's worth the time considering this is supposed to be a lazy player's guide. We will also need another quest for this guy to be viable, and this is the Tourist Trap. This quest will require you to have level 10 fletching, which is very easily attainable, and also level 20 smithing, which you will already have after the completion of the Knight's Sword. The reward from this quest will give you the knowledge to smith dart tips, which is going to be our main focus. You'll also get 2 XP lamps worth 4,650 experience in any skill. Once again, if you need a guide to this quest, you can check the description below. From here, we can get into the actual smithing of items. Now, since we're going to be doing anvil smithing, there are 2 locations in old school RuneScape which can be the best to use. One of which is locked behind a quest, but it isn't much better than the open to all anvil. If you are fortunate enough to have completed the Song of the Elves quest, you'll want to be using the southeastern Prifddinas anvil. This anvil is only 8 squares to a bank. If you have not completed the Song of the Elves quest, you'll want to be using the anvil located in western Varrock. This anvil is only 10 squares to a bank, so to sum it up, the anvil in Prifddinas is only 1 game tick closer to a bank than the Varrock anvil. Depending on the amount of attention paid, it won't really matter which anvil you choose, as you'll still most likely be smithing between 900 and 1,000 bars per hour realistically. Alright, so here we go everyone. The only item you will need to level 99 is a hammer if using this method, and the first item we're going to be starting with is iron throwing knives. These are very popular among ranged peers for training the range skill, so they'll pretty much always have a high demand, resulting in them always being profitable for the foreseeable future. So, from level 29 to level 34, the item you will be smithing is iron knives. You will get 25 experience per iron bar for a total of 7,499 experience from the quest experience rewarded at level 29 to level 34. As for XP per hour, you're looking at somewhere between 22.5 thousand and 25,000. You'll need to smith 300 iron bars, which will result in 1,500 iron throwing knives. Time it will take you to do this, 15 to 20 minutes. It will cost you 29,000 GP, and you will profit 21,000 GP. After level 34, we're going to be focusing on dart tips all the way home. Just like the iron knives, 27 bars can be smithed per inventory. Smithing items that only use 1 bar results in the duration of 5 game ticks, which gives us 3 seconds per bar smithed. Overall, you're looking at about 1 minute and 21 seconds of smithing time before you have to bank and grab another inventory of bars. This makes our AFK lives very happy, or at least mine. Now, I want to mention here, if you're looking to lose the least amount of profit or make the most amount of profit, depending on the market at the time you're watching this video, you will want to leave the dart tips unfletched. Fletching darts is the fastest fletching experience in the game, making dart tips always have a pretty decently high demand. If you're looking for also getting the fletching experience, by all means, fletch away. You will have to also have feathers for doing this method. From level 34 to 54, the item you'll be smithing is steel dart tips. You will get 37.5 experience per steel bar. You will need a total of 130,648 experience from level 34 to 54. As for XP per hour, somewhere between 33,000 and 38,000. You'll need to smith 3,484 steel bars, resulting in 34,840 steel dart tips. As for time spent, 3.5 to 4 hours. It will cost you an overhead cost of 1.4 million. As for profit, you're looking at somewhere around 375,000 GP. From level 54 to 74, the item you will be smithing is Mithril dart tips. They will reward 50 experience per Mithril bar for a total of 945,406 XP from level 54 to 74. As for XP per hour, somewhere in the range of 45,000 to 50,000. You'll need to smith 18,909 Mithril bars, which will amount to 189,090 Mithril dart tips. It will take you between 19 and 21 hours to do this, cost you 11 to 11.5 mil, and you will profit 2.1 to 2.2 million GP. From level 74 to level 89, you'll be smithing Adamant dart tips. They grant 62.5 experience per adamantite bar for a total of 3,746,017 XP from level 74 to 89. As for experience per hour, 56,000 to 62.5 thousand. You'll need to smith 59,937 adamantite bars, which will amount to 599,370 adamant dart tips. It will take you between 60 and 67 hours, cost you 114.5 to 115.5 million GP, and you will profit 2.5 to 2.6 million GP. And on the decently long home stretch from level 89 to 99, you will be smithing rune dart tips. As for experience, 75 XP per rune bar. You'll need 8,192,136 experience from level 89 to 99. As for the experience per hour, somewhere in the area of 67.5 thousand to 75,000. As for the amount, pretty hefty, 109,229 rune bars. This will amount to 1,092,290 rune dart tips. As for the time spent, somewhere between 109 and 121 hours. As for the overhead cost, 1.3 billion to 1.4 billion, but of course you don't have to spend this all at the same time. You can buy a chunk here, sell them when you're done, and repeat the process over and over until you're finished. As for profit, at the current time of this video, you can see somewhere between 54 million and 55 million GP. Alright, so that is level 1 to 99 smithing by choosing to smith dart tips. At the current time this video is being made, you're looking at a pretty decent profit by choosing to go the AFK route to 99 smithing. Now if you're watching this video a week, a month, or a year from this video's publication date, this information might not hold true. But for right now, it is not a bad chunk of change to add to the bank. I do want to note here, you most likely won't sell these dart tips instantly for this kind of profit. But if you're patient with your selling offers, you can see the profit that I have listed here. Some people out there are willing to pay a lot of money for very fast fletching experience. You'll just have to have the patience to see the profit. Okay, on to the super extremely lazy way to 99 smithing, and this method is going to be cannonballs. Cannonballs are a resource in the game that cannot be recovered. Once a cannonball is fired, it is gone. There is no getting it back, making it an extremely desired item in the game, especially for the Slayer skill. Seeing as how this is sort of a resource sink, it keeps cannonballs at a high demand for the player base. In order to make cannonballs, you will need at least to partially complete the Dwarf Cannon quest. The quest has no requirements and is a pretty short quest. As always, I have left links to the quest guides in the description below. After completing or partially completing the Dwarf Cannon quest, you will be given an ammo mold which will allow you to create cannonballs from steel bars. As for the speed at which you will make the cannonballs, it takes 10 game ticks per steel bar to make 4 cannonballs. Compared to Anvil smithing, this is double the time for 1 bar, giving you a much more AFK method to 99. There are several furnaces that are viable for smelting cannonballs, but my favorite one is the one in Edgeville. This furnace was added for use along with the Varrock achievement diaries. Depending on the diary you have completed, this furnace can give you the chance of smelting multiple bars from a single ore. Just a fun fact there, but not necessary for you if you're making cannonballs. So since it takes double the time to smith 1 steel bar into 4 cannonballs as it does to smith 1 bar of something at an anvil, we're going to assume that we can smith between 450 and 500 steel bars while making cannonballs. As for experience, it is very slow, but it is a pretty viable way of making profit all the way to level 99. So, from level 35 to 99, the item you'll be smithing is cannonballs. As for experience, they grant 25.6 experience per steel bar. As for total experience, 13,012,025 experience from level 35 to 99. As for XP per hour, you're looking at somewhere between 11,500 and 12,800. As for the amount, you will need 508,283 steel bars, which will equal 2,033,132 cannonballs. As for time spent, and I cannot believe I'm listing this in a guide, but hey, it's AFK, 1,016 to 1,131 hours. This will amount to somewhere around 44 days of playtime. As for the cost, 203 million to 204 million. Your profit is going to be somewhere between 193 million and 194 million GP, and as for just a little bit of extra information, that will average out to around 180,000 GP per hour. Is cannonballs a viable way to 99? I mean, I guess if you have the time to spend on it. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. If any of you out there have the patience to get 99 smithing by doing only cannonballs, you are insane. You're not actually a person, you're a robot. And I am not sorry for saying that. But as usual, I do have a recap for the more sane method of getting 99 smithing the lazy way. If you follow this guide and get 99 smithing using the dart tip method, you're looking at a total time of somewhere between 192 and 213 hours. As for a total profit from 1 to 99, and remember this number is based on the prices at the time of this video was made, you're looking at somewhere between 58 and 60 million GP. As for an average profit per hour from level 1 to 99, it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 295,000 GP. Alright everybody, that is going to do it for the Lazy Player's Guide to 99 Smithing. I hope somewhere in this video you might have learned something that you didn't know before. I really do enjoy making these video guides for you, and all the positive feedback is great. Quick story, just this past weekend from the time that this video is being published, I was in Orlando, Florida at Disney World and Universal Resorts. Somebody had commented on my videos. Jordan Foster works at in City Walk in Orlando, right outside of Universal Studios. So I stopped in and met Jordan and had a short talk with him. It's awesome to be able to be out in the world and meet you guys. So if I'm ever in the area that you might be in, let me know and I might stop by. So if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. They really do help the video's popularity. If you haven't done so yet, you can tap the subscribe button on your way out. It's right down there in the bottom right corner or at the end of the video on the end screen. Keep sending me those loot screenshots and any other kind of loot that you get. I want to see it. With that, guys, I will see you on the next video. Take it easy, everybody.